Here goes nothing. So a few weeks ago, and it's actually been a couple months now, I wrote a post about my solution for the mommy wars, how to stop the mommy wars. And I know I'm not the only one who's written on this topic, because if you Google mommy wars, you will literally get pages and pages and pages of hits from other mothers like me, um, as well as some professional bloggers, all offering this. We got to stop it. We got to stop the mommy wars. We got to stop being so judgmental of each other and making each other feel bad. And so I decided to write about it too, but as usual, I didn't want to come from the same perspective that everybody else is coming from. Because it occurred to me, if all of us agree that we need to stop the mommy wars, then who's the one who's actually continuing them? Who are the mothers out there who are causing all of this fire and this fighting if we're all pretty much in agreement that we're done and we don't want to do it anymore? Um, so I propose to you that the mommy wars are a spiritual thing, as with most problems. They're not really, it's not really that humans are fighting humans on this, but that mommy wars are the result of those of us who are insecure already in our parenting choices having those insecurities exposed and not liking it and wanting to have somebody to blame for those feelings of guilt instead of dealing with them in a healthy way ourselves, either by fixing the problem that's making us feel guilty or by um, ignoring the lies that are coming from somewhere else. So let me read a little bit about a little bit from my original post, and I'm going to put a link down there so that you can follow it too. Um, I I said I've honestly never seen what I would call a battle, or let alone a war, waged over things like breastfeeding or bottle feeding, crib sleeping or co-sleeping, cloth diapering or disposable diapers. What I have seen are lots and lots and lots of discussions about why one family found a particular choice to be better, and then comments from other mothers saying, thanks, I'll try your suggestion, or that won't work for us because it just didn't and we tried it, but thanks anyway. Or that worked for my firstborn, but my second one's totally different. Any other ideas? Etc., etc., etc. So I have to ask, what war are we talking about? Occasionally someone will get defensive and say, you just think you have all the answers, but there's nothing wrong with my choice to blah, 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 and you should just butt out. But those are fairly rare. And more importantly, I don't believe those mothers are reacting to what was said. This is the key. I don't think that what was really taking place in that case was mother fighting mother. I think that when somebody gets upset, they get defensive. Um, what they're actually dealing with is a deeper internal issue of insecurity or guilt or jealousy or something, and not an overarching mommy war. Again, I've never heard anybody say, you're going to go to hell for feeding your baby formula. If that's what we're hearing, that's probably a personal issue. I've never heard you should be jailed for using disposable diapers. I've never heard that you should have your children taken away because you feed them too much inorganic food. Um, and this is the point where a lot of times a mother will say, yeah, but it's not what they say, Amanda, it's what they imply. And that's my point, though. That's where the dirty mindedness, what I'm calling dirty mindedness, comes in. If you're hearing implied anger or criticism or anything, judgment, negative things coming, no matter where you look, maybe that's the filter that you're using and not what the other mothers are actually trying to say. My message for today is take your mind out of the gutter. It seems to me that we're seeing wars between the lines just because our culture says they're there. And 9 times out of 10, nobody means to imply anything negative about you personally when they say or do a seemingly harmless thing, um, or when they make a statement about your parenting choice that you didn't necessarily like. I also got into later on in the article about this tendency, this I don't even know what to call it, this popular thing that we have going on now where we share the 10 things that you should say to this kind of mother, or the 12 things to never say to it. Don't say these things to an adoptive mother, or make sure that you encourage that single mother, or, and we give each other these scripts that we're supposed to follow. Here's what you say to me, here's what you don't say to me. How is that how's that working for us? Are we feeling better when our girlfriends get together in the living room and they're not allowed to, have to avoid certain topics altogether and they have to stick to the script with these other topics? Is it possible that maybe we're all feeling so unsure of ourselves because we're actually not getting to the root of any of our problems? I mean, I'm just asking. Wouldn't it make more sense if we were able to be honest and criticize each other honestly and then um, be able to defend the choices that we're making better? Um, is it really so bad to have to answer questions sometimes? Would that automatically count as judgment every time? I don't think that it would, which is why at the bottom of this post I wrote my suggestions for stopping the mommy wars. And this is the part that I kind of expected to get some more feedback from, but I didn't really get. I can't remember if I had any responses on Facebook, but I have 0 comments on under my blog post about this. So if you want to get involved, this is the place. Follow the link, and you can leave me some comments here. I said that here are my ways of solving this, and yes, I think that my ways are better. So consider them at least. Number one, I remind myself that opinions aren't bad. It's not bad to strongly believe you're right. In fact, it's not even bad to write an article flat out stating, for example, here's why I made my choice and I think my choice is right. It totally depends on what lens I'm wearing. How I receive that message totally depends on my frame of mind. Number two, I ask God to help me with my insecurities. And when I notice I've become too easily offended, I ask Him to help me control my dirty mind. I don't want to be someone who walks through the produce department giggling over all of over all the bananas and cucumbers and melons. That was from a reference earlier in the article. You'll just have to follow the link if you want to figure out why I'm talking about that. But in the same way, I don't see the same conflict and judgment and competition that so many others see when they are hearing mothers talking with each other. I don't really think that we're nearly as hateful and mean toward each other as everybody else seems to think we are, but maybe it's just the lens that I'm wearing. So leave me a comment, and if you like this method of me getting my ideas across, if you think it's better or clearer for me to talk it out instead of write it out, it's definitely going to save me time if I can do this now and then. So let me know about that too. Thanks for watching.